The interim coach got the job just after Thanksgiving. Here's Geis from the 2 for LSU. He's got 2 touchdowns today, 1 on the ground, 1 receiving. And here he goes on the kick return. Oh, and he just slams the kicker to the ground and steps out of bounds. Oy. Blanton Creaky decided to take on Darius Geis. Bad idea.
Credit the effort for Creaky, but my goodness. Don't stand on the train tracks while the train's coming through.
Leonard Fournette right now is envious of that hit by Darius Geis.
Hey guys, kickers are people too.
Wow.
Good evening and welcome to Tigers Roar. Happy New Year, everyone. We're all glad 2017 is here, and we got you to the first Tigers Roar of 2017. I'm Tommy Krysan, and we've got the Bud Man, Buddy Sanji, with us tonight.
Happy New
Bud
Year,
Man.
TK. Good
How
to
are
see
you?
my man.
You doing well?
I am doing well. I am excited that we turned the calendar to 2017. What a year. I don't think we could have ever thought in our wildest dreams that 16 would be such an incredible, passionate, controversial, negative, and I guess football-changing year for the Tiger Nation. But we have a lot to recap, a lot to go over with the bowl game. You know, TK, anytime you finish with a bowl win, it leaves the fans with a big, great, juicy taste in the mouth. Kind of like what you guys had for Christmas and New Year's over with your friends over at Tremonti's. But I got to tell you, now you got a month left in recruiting. We'll talk about that. We'll recap the bowl game and talk about players for next year. A lot of expectations, TK, already for Ed Orgeron. There won't be a long honeymoon period. People are expecting big wins right out of the gate.
And I think LSU fans have a lot of reasons to be optimistic, and we'll get into a bunch of that tonight. We got Buddy Sanji here. Normally we got Jordy Hultberg on Tigers Roar, but let's explain it for you. First off, Buddy's here. We didn't do the post-game show right after LSU and Louisville because that Alabama-Washington game started right after. It was New Year's Eve, etc. So tonight's edition of Tigers Roar is kind of a combo. We'll talk about the win over Louisville. We'll recap the 2016 season. We'll talk about recruiting. We're going to have Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com on a little bit later, so you don't want to miss that. We're going to have Tom Bro tell you all about the 22nd annual Tiger Gridiron Club Bash. We're going to give you all that info tonight. So we kind of threw this combo show together for you, and we've got the Bud Man here. As you know, he hosts the post-game show with me all year long. Speaking of the post-game show, this Saturday we debut the spring version of the Pelican Sports post-game show. We're going to hit the air at 4:30 on Saturday, which is right out to LSU Mississippi State. You know the drill. Like in football, the game ends, you give us a couple of minutes, then we're on the air. Same thing Saturday. Jordy Hultberg and I will be here approximately 4:30 on radio, on TV, phone calls and text messages coming in, and we'll talk LSU basketball. We'll talk LSU recruiting. We'll talk baseball and softball when it starts. Gymnastics getting ready to embark on what hopefully is a championship season, ranked number 2, with a big meet this Friday night against Georgia, who's ranked number 9. So every Saturday, immediately following LSU basketball, the spring version of the Pelican Sports postgame show. So
I like
that
it.
kind of gives you the table of what we got set here as we roll into 2017. Jonathan and Joe and the staff whipped up some new graphics for everybody. I mean, we trying to get a little better each and every day.
Yeah, every year we want to improve in different areas. And I tell you, Tommy, I was kind of talking to Adam and Alan and others before, and it kind of interesting stats just to give you a little perspective about LSU football. But the last 3 years, the Tigers have been 25-12. Now, that's an average of 4 losses. But yet, the nation, and I know you got it on your show, and you saw it and heard it all over social media and everywhere else that people interact nowadays. But you heard the whisperings, boy, I like the way my Tigers were playing at the end of the year. There wasn't too many teams I saw during the bowl season that LSU couldn't compete with and maybe even beat. We know Alabama and Clemson certainly are 2. But that being said, 25-12 the last 3 years, another weird year, 2 years in a row, where the Tigers only play 12 games, even though they had the bowl wins. Last year, of course, Texas Tech. This year, Louisville. The previous 3 years to that, 33-7, DK. So my point is that as you look at what happened in 16, boy, that's a heck of a mountain. And we used to talk about it, 6-5-4, going down with conference wins. But who would have ever thunk it, folks, that number one, Brandon Harris would lose his job. Number two, Les would get fired when it happened. And number three, Ed Orgeron, who wasn't working in college coaching, couple 3 years ago. Not only did he get the interim deal, but he's now the head man. So a lot of transition. We saw the downward turn. I think people now are going to hope to get back up there, want to be in that conversation with Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, Florida State. And we know 4 weeks from today, it goes a big step in Coach O getting back. Got to get more linemen, got to get guys to come in, got to fill the needs.
Well, and I think LSU fans have reason to be optimistic. And the next chapter is between now and February 1 with the recruiting. Who can they get in? Can they get some flips? Can they not lose? Man, we all know what they need. What can this staff, led by Ed Orgeron and the recruiting coordinator, do and put out on February the 1st? Then it'll be spring football. Matt Canada starts work next week with the offense, although he's been in communication with the quarterbacks and many other players. So I think you have reasons to be optimistic. And probably the most reason to be optimistic is Dave Aranda. Okay? Look what this guy did to Louisville and Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson with preparation. And here's where I'm going with this, buddy. Dave Aranda now has the book on 7 of the 8 SEC opponents next year because he's win against them, and there's no coaching changes as of yet, especially in the Western Division. So he's gonna be better prepared for each of the teams in the Western Division. For the Florida Gators, now who's the other East team next year? Do you know? I got it in the other
Tennessee.
row. Tennessee. Okay, well, Aranda didn't go against this year. So I think that's a reason to be optimistic because the proof's in the pudding with Aranda now. Now, Matt Canada, like Aranda, good hire on paper, all the compliments, blah, blah, blah. So if he turns out as good or better than Aranda on that side of the ball, Orgeron can do the radio show and the TV show. He can fill in for me and do this show with you, and he can let them guys coach.
No, usually he can't do the Wednesday show because I think that's when he's doing his radio show.
Well, we're going to get him changed.
Yeah, we'll change him up on that.
We'll get him changed.
Interesting thing, Coach DiNardo, all the coaches we've dealt with through the years, you and me, we always hear the head coaches say you got to have some really good generals in battle with them. And that means an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Now the game is specialized where you have a third coordinator and that special teams coordinator. And, I had some notes for watching the ball game and kind of analyzing the season. And I got to tell you, and we know Bradley Dale Pivotal got the pink slip very quickly when Ed got
He took a job at Ole Miss, by the way.
He did take a job at Ole Miss. But special teams is an area where LSU used to have an advantage. They flipped the field. They changed field position. Brad Wing, the year of 11, the 2 greatest gunners LSU will ever have. Tyrann Mathieu and Ron Brooks, both of them still playing in the NFL. And Wing doing great things in the NFL. Got his act together. We know he had some immaturity problems when he was at LSU, as they always do.
See Craig Victor. I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, but bottom line is that they got to get back and flipping field position and doing great things. But this year, TK, I don't remember a year in recent history where LSU had less of a threat in punt return and kickoff return.
Special teams was awful.
No disrespect to 18.
No, the special teams was
Tre'Davious
awful.
White's a class act. But
he doesn't need to be returning punts.
He returned one for a touchdown, but many times he come up and he let the ball bounce. They lose 15 yards of field position. We know that everybody else against LSU, unbelievable, they got a guy that can kick it out the end zone. So you had very little return, although we opened up the show with Darius Geis abusing that kicker from Louisville. But anyway, so for me, TK, still got to get better at the line of scrimmage. Got to play better inside the red zone on offense. Got to get better on special teams. And a little known fact, LSU this year, when's the last time you seen them block a punt or block a kick?
I can't remember.
25 or 26, the opponents on field goals this year against LSU. They didn't miss. So bottom line is that Coach O being there, being in the trenches. He knows what has to be done. We'll see how he fills out his staff. We'll see how he finishes recruiting. And listen, this is going to be a lot of fun because people going into Tiger Stadium next year not going to know for the first time in 12 years what play call by personnel and down and distance.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. The recruiting is what it's all about between now and February 1, which is the National Signing Day. Staff, buddy. We still got a few pieces to the puzzle there.
Right.
And I'll throw this out there. Everybody's heard it.
Sure.
Curtis Johnson, you folks watching in New Orleans, coached on the Saints staff with Sean Payton, head coach at Tulane, where he had to do the recruiting thing. Very popular guy, very smart guy. Met Curtis a few times right after he got the Tulane job. And there's talk that he could end up on the LSU staff, if not soon, perhaps shortly after signing day.
Well, and because we all know that Willie Taggart, who went over and took the Oregon job, has actively and publicly pursued Damian Craig. Now, Damian Craig wants to be an offensive coordinator. That's one of the reasons he left Auburn. He came over here. He did not get that opportunity in an interim basis. Steve Ensminger got it and did a pretty darn good job, all things considered. That all being said, if Coach Craig goes to Oregon, then certainly Curtis would be a perfect fit for LSU.
Yeah, so there's lots to still come. There's plenty of reasons to be listening to all us guys on the radio each and every day and checking out things on the internet as the recruiting's about to heat up. And as I told you, a little bit later in tonight's program, Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com, going to give us an extensive update on recruiting. You don't want to miss that. We will tell you about the 22nd Annual Tiger Gridiron Club Bayou Bash. We're going to tell you about that tonight as well. We'll also hear from Ronnie Rance and your phone calls and text messages. If you want to give us a text message, you see the number on the screen, area code 504-689-9246, as we'll try to mix it up a little bit. We got some guests. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got some video for you. So we'll get into a whole lot of that tonight. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with more. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Chrysan with you. Spread the roar. This is Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
Here at Rejuva-Me Medical, we strive to accomplish a more youthful you. We specialize in the most advanced techniques of testosterone replacement therapy in men, bioidentical hormone replacement in women, IV therapy, and nutritional support along with the state-of-the-art cosmetics procedures. Experience a network of trainers and health coaches offering diet and nutritional plans tailored to you. Call us today to schedule your free consultation to discuss your individual needs and goals. Look like you live younger.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every one.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3 bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online cypresslake-apartments.net.
We continue with Tigers Roar. We remind you each and every week, the original airs Wednesday night, 8 to 10. Replays around the state of Louisiana for the rest of the week, including on Pelican Sports TV and YouTube. YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Mid-morning Thursday, it'll be up there so you can watch it at your convenience. I want to tell you about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Mike Tremonti and the gang over there do an incredible job. You know, when we had Thanksgiving, we had the turkeys fried. We had the turkeys rotisserie and all the side dishes. It was outstanding. Then, Christmas time, New Year's, the best prime rib anybody around here has ever eaten. There was none left. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood, all the specialty meats, lunch specials every day. They got a meat case. They got all the pre-prepared meals. They got wine, high-end spirits. They've got all of that at Tremonti's. And the special announcement for tonight, they've got crawfish. But you got to call them, reserve them. They're not plentiful yet, but they've got crawfish. And if you call them or you stop in, they'll take care of you with crawfish. Every year I make a vow to eat more crawfish than I ate the year before. Obviously that works when you take a look at me. But Tremontis.com, all the information. Phone number 225-751-7665, 12451 on Jefferson Highway, just down from Parkview Baptist. Stop in, check it out, and crawfish are available at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood, Tremontis.com. You can't go wrong. The prime rib was outstanding. Everybody around here has already got it on the calendar for next year. Buddy, the LSU Tigers basketball team is in action as we speak, and not a lot of people in Columbia, Missouri chose to go to the game tonight, but give us the very latest update.
It seems like Missouri's on a little bit of a run. LSU opened up 12-6, now 13-all, and once again, TK, it's going to be a rock'em sock'em back and forth. Neither one of these teams are great. I did predict Blakeney to go off tonight. A little spicy prediction on Antonio Blakeney. And, normally we don't go up against LSU football, basketball, and baseball because we understand that that's a tough gig. But tonight.
We've been here 10 years.
Yeah.
Well,
and I had to talk football. I haven't gotten into the hoops mindset just yet. I don't know if you have.
And what I want to do now, as you know, Buddy and I did the post-game show after the 11 regular season games this year. What are the odds of having 2 years in a row with only 11 games?
I'm predicting it won't happen next year.
Yeah, it can't. But anyway, and then tonight's kind of the combo show, as we said, Tigers Roar, post-game wrap-up, all that good stuff. And, Buddy, I know you want to thank Manda Sausage for their continued partnership with the post-game show.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Couldn't do it without Bobby Yarbrough, all his brothers, all of his family. A great Louisiana-owned and operated since 1947. Got some new products coming in 2017. I'm not at liberty to tell you right now.
They're not going to get rid of the Hogshead cheese.
No.
This is Hogshead cheese.
No. I do. Yeah, I think I owe you some Hogshead cheese.
Probably.
Well, anyway,
I won your contest like 6 times.
You did win it too, and almost won it a third time.
Yeah.
You did good picking this year.
Hey,
but the sausage, the boudin, the pastrami, the roast beef, the ham, the turkey breast, all of the great, and of course. We know nowadays you're so specialized, the jalapeno and the smoked and the regular boudin. The sausage is going great guns. And once again, appreciate them. Couldn't do it without them. And like Bobby Yarbrough says, every time you go to your local supermarket and deli, make it Manda Make It Manda every time. You won't be disappointed. We've had a spicy year. There have been plenty of Manda segments with the spicy year. And the reason I threw out those 3-year segments, TK, was just to validate what you and I have been saying. I know for the last couple of years there were callers and saying, why are you guys always so negative? And why are you looking at it with the glass half empty instead of half full? I got to tell you something. I'm really looking forward to 2017, and you give Les a lot of credit for what he brought to the program and what he's done. And let's be honest, the next guy and Coach O or whoever after Coach O, they're not going to come close to measuring up to the record that Les had in 11-plus years. But it was time for change, and I think with the offensive coordinator, like you alluded to, if Canada can come in here, some real advantages. Nobody knows what he's going to do with LSU's talent. And TK, we were thinking about this a little bit today and talking about it. I think you got to outscore Alabama. I think, the frustrating thing this year was to play them so tough and not put any points on the scoreboard in light of the fact that you got 2 takeaways from your defense. So I think that you're going to see more scoring. And boy, with Aranda, I mean, I don't think Joe Leva and Ed Ogeron would trade him for anybody in the country. And so you got a lot of potential. I still think they need to get more big uglies. I think they've got to obviously continue to recruit and develop quarterbacks, which has been a sore spot. But I think the future is bright, and I think fans are going to have more entertainment value because it had gotten a little stale with the kind of football they were playing. And that's all we were trying to say the last couple of years as we saw this thing. We talked about it. One thing, you got to be smart enough to understand you have a problem, but then you got to do something about it. And the fact that Les didn't want to do anything on the offense led to where we're at today.
Well, and then, the other thing, put together, we got decades and decades of this experience. So if we come up with numbers, it's because that's what we do. We look at trends and whatnot. Buddy, I know we've both talked about it a lot on the radio this week already, but before we get to some player comments about the win over Louisville, your quick summary of the 29-9 victory in the Citrus Bowl.
Well, I tell you what, it was really, you think 10 o'clock in the morning they're not going to be ready. I told Cobble at Channel 2, kind of wrapping up the show, the last time LSU played a bowl game at 10 in the morning, the following year they won the national championship. They played Texas in the Cotton Bowl. Marcus Randall, remember? Everybody's worried about waking up early. Had the hamstring problem. Saban and Clayton had to come in and play defense. Yep. And after the game, you say, wow, Texas is way ahead of LSU. The next year, 2003, they win it. I'm not saying they're going to win it next year, but what I am saying is with the right coaching and the right players and peaking at the right time and all getting on the same, and having some breaks that you have to have. We all know that this was not a great year for breaks for this whole community and state. You've got a chance to get into that area code where everybody wants to be, and that's, once again, top 10 and talking about possibly being in the Final Four of the CFP.
All right, the win over Louisville, we've got for you some comments from the players and coaches after that game, obviously in a very good mood. Beating a good Louisville team, a team that struggled down the stretch, but they did have the Heisman Trophy winner. Bobby Petrino has an offensive reputation. They scored a lot of points all year, but not against LSU. Here's some of the comments after the Tigers win in the Citrus Bowl.
Well, the coaches did a great job preparing us for this game. The whole team, we were disappointed, with our season that we didn't make the playoffs. But, we had to look at who we were facing in the bowl game, and that really made us fired up because we were going against the Heisman Trophy winner. So as you can see today, the defense played a hell of a game and, shut them down. And with me, Coach O and the offense and Coach Luke did a great job of getting all of us ready. The O-line did a great job. The fullback, Danny did a great job of opening up the pass game to open up the running lanes, and everything just executed the way we planned, and we came out victorious.
Well, you got great players. Let them play, right? Not just awfully excited about our football team, the way they bought in, one team, one heartbeat. We're like that right now, and I'm so proud of them. They played tremendous today against a good Louisville football team. A great job by our staff of coming on the road and preparing our guys to play like we did today. It was a dominating performance.
our defense prides ourselves off, keeping people out the end zone. From the Texas A&M game, we didn't have the best second half, so we challenged ourselves. That was a whole month of preparation of a bad taste in our mouth about the second half of the Texas A&M game. So we just pride ourselves on keeping our guys on out the end zone. And our defense, our motto is, bend but don't break. If they get down in the red zone, just don't let them get in the end zone. So we did a great job of that.
We believed in what we were doing. We had a system. And we had guys that were waiting in the forefront, waiting in the background. You look at a guy like Darius Geis, okay? I want you to think about this guy, what he's done now for the team this year and the way he runs the football. We had probably one of the best players in college football, Leonard Fournette, get hurt. He stepped in, didn't blink an eye. He's one of the best players in America. I totally expect him to be the best player in America next year. We're fortunate to have him.
Like I said before, man, coming back was the best decision I ever made in my life. I was able to, get a degree and get a lot of accolades that I set myself. I set goals for, and I got them. And I wanted to go out a winner. Like I said earlier this week, I wanted to go out a winner, and I feel like the way that Coach O, prepares us, and the way he cares about the players, man. I mean, it's next to none, and I'm happy he got the job, and I was happy that I was able to go out on the win and get the ball rolling for these guys going into spring.
Well, again, like Tre'Davious said, I'm happy Coach O was hired and got the job, and he just gives us a lot of energy. He makes sure everyone is running around, so we're very conditioned, and he just keeps us pumped up, ready to kill everybody that we go against every day, 24/7. I saw a picture earlier where he drunk like 3 Monsters, and he's just always ready to go, and it's just a guy that you need around that always got energy. He's more involved than a lot of head coaches are, which makes it better for the players. And just coming off with him getting the head coaching job and winning a bowl like this means a lot. Not only for us but for him as well, and can't wait for next year. So.
Coach O, he always says, be the most physical team on the field, and that's the tradition at LSU. Hit them hard, play fast, and get to the ball, all 11 guys. And, our defense does that. And, even our receivers, when Darius breaks free, man, those guys, they're happy to block. They're willing to block. So, I feel like, going forward, these guys have a very bright future. And I'm looking forward to watching them every Sunday. I mean, from every Saturday, from wherever I may be.
I can get a lot better. We'll see who's staying, see who's going. Let's take a look at our team next year. Get with Coach Canada, and, as soon as I can, and start to get to work, and formulate a plan for next year, and have a good off season of hard work.
Do you think you'll learn some new stuff from Coach Orgeron, the way he runs the program?
Yeah, of course. If you're going into a day, especially at a top-notch program like this, and you don't learn anything new each day, then you're wasting your time.
The interception, you were trying to throw it out of bounds?
Yeah, I tried to sail that one way out of bounds, and the cleat got stuck, and I tried to get it off my back foot and still get it out there, and throwing off your back foot. As soon as it left my hand, I felt it get caught up, and I was like, please make it out, and it didn't. Our defense made a great stand to hold to a field goal, and I was kicking myself, and I wanted to come back the second half and play well for my team, and I think we did that as an offense.
My weight and still work on my technique and fundamentals and things of that sort, and then come out ready for next year.
Talk about the second sack, especially. Were you out kind of an extra gear? It seemed like you had really kind of to chase him down.
Oh, yeah. They had a running back block me one-on-one with the running back. I beat him, and I saw him set his feet, and I knew it was a sack then.
Arden, I might have missed it. Just talk about, obviously not getting the 20, setting the record. Still gotta feel special.
It's special. A lot of LSU defensive linemen came out of LSU, and they were great players, and they was capable of setting the sack record. And I'm just blessed, and thank God.
What's gonna be the goal next year?
Next year's gonna be 20 still. Next year I felt like I'd be able to get it. This year I could have got it, but I missed a lot of sacks. So that's one thing I need to work on, is making sure I wrap up and get the sack.
Hey, all you can do is just look at the scoreboard now, So there's been a couple times out there that they were saying that we were really fast, that they never seen somebody chase down Lamar or whatever the case may be. But obviously we proved it.
One play where Lamar ran to the outside, you called him. What were you just speaking to that?
I was just reading. I was reading my guy. My guy went across, so I was just doing my job, and I chased him down, and I think that's what some of the media and some other folks out there wanted to see. So,
how important was it to not let him score a touchdown? To finish. I know the A&M game bothered y'all a lot.
Yeah, it was huge. You know, not having him score a touchdown is something that, you know, we pride ourselves on. You know, we held him to, what, 9 points? So that's tremendous. They have a tremendous tight end. You know, I went against him, and, you know, we did a tremendous job. As a whole, as a team, you know, we play LSU football.
Are you going to sit back and kind of enjoy this win before you evaluate what your decision might be?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm having a press conference on January 6th on whether or not what I do. So that's going to be at LSU. And, you know, I'm looking forward to that. And, you know, right now I want to soak up this win and enjoy it with my family and my brothers.
What'd you guys do on defense today, Jamal?
Just played LSU defense. It's simple. We come out there, we're flying around the ball and communicating. There's no better defense out there.
You love having a target like Lamar Jackson, the Heisman winner, that you get to put up and say, this is the guy that we're going to shut down. And how much did you guys take that on as a personal challenge?
Yeah, most definitely. He's an outstanding player for one, tremendous leader. I think that, you know, he came out and he did everything he could. You know, at times we just did, you know, had better football play. And, you know, he came out and he definitely gave us some things that, you know, we had to, you know, operate on and, you know, execute. So as a defense, we played well.
I just wish we were playing in the college football playoff, but don't get me wrong, it's a great win. You know, we accomplished a lot of goals this year, and I love this season. You know, we had ups and downs, but we always came back strong.
Best win of the season?
Best win of the season, no doubt.
Yeah. Are you going to take a little break? Part of you kind of want to stick around and see what it'd be like to have a whole season under Coach Orgeron, start to finish, off season throughout? Yeah,
I was just saying earlier before we walked up that I didn't want to take my shoulder pads off. You know, I was just kind of sitting there with them on and living in the moment. You know, I love LSU, and my time here is awesome.
Did you see him taking the program to another level?
No doubt in my mind. Players coach, y'all saw it instantly when he got the job, how he changed his team around, and you know, we'd love to play for him. You know, he takes care of us, so we take care of him. And you know, Coach O's my guy. I love Coach O.
What were you guys able to accomplish on offense? What was the game plan? And it looks like you guys really controlled the ball.
Yeah, just, you know, play our game and you know, minimize mistakes. You know, we had to keep pounding them in the run game, but eventually it started to get loose. So you know, we really just had to play our game, and you know, Louisville did a good job.
And how about for you, Ethan? Just the next level, you know, onto the NFL. It seems like everybody feels like, and you've shown you're one of the best linemen in the country. You know, what do you think about the draft and that excitement?
You know, I'm really just going with the flow and, you know, doing what I can do, control what I can control. And, you know, it's a stressful time, a lot of pressure, but at the end of the day, it is if you want to make it that way. So I'm just going with the flow and do what I can do and play hard. That's all I know how to do. You know, my time here at LSU, I can honestly say, you know, I gave my all every day. So that's all that matters.
Great. You know, he came in, he was our guy the whole way. He believed in us, we believed in him, and we were just happy we get him the win.
What was it like, him getting ready for the bowl game? You've been through one bowl game already. What kind of attitude did he foment for this game?
You know, we had fun during practice, but we also worked. You know, he gave us days where we were supposed to go hard, days where we were supposed to keep it light, and he had a great combo of all of it and had us ready to go to this game.
Yeah, talk about that. When you came out, did you feel refreshed and ready and at full strength?
For sure. You know, we had a great game plan, we had a great practice week, and everybody was fresh and just ready to go. Able to spread the ball around. You know, once you start passing, everything loosens up, and you know, made some halftime adjustments, and Coach Insminger, you know, did a great job, and we were able to put some points up in the second half.
Did you feel like Darius was going to break one?
Yeah, I mean, it's only a matter of time every game before he does it, and you know, he had a nice one today, and you know, excited to have him one more season.
Game for you. But I saw you pregame. You looked focused in pregame. Did you just kind of have it dialed in from the start, or what was the difference for you in this game?
Right. I mean, it was just another day I wanted to help my team win, and we did that. And I came out early on. I was fortunate enough to make some plays and keep some drives alive for us. And I mean, it wasn't anything different, you know. Just I had the opportunity to make plays, and I made the best of them.
I don't think you made an announcement yet. Where are you on going pro?
I'm undecided. I still have a lot of thinking to do. I'm not leaning one way or the other, and you know, I just gotta. Like I said last week, I was focused on the bowl game and getting better with my team. And now, obviously, I got to put my decision in the forefront and make a big decision coming up.
And then talk about both, I mean, you know, the potential for this team coming back, how exciting would it be to, you know, see what you guys can accomplish under a full season, Coach Orgeron?
All right, definitely. I mean, it's very exciting. He was just talking about that in the locker room. He was saying how, you know, the seniors and the guys that can leave early, you know, he loves us. He's glad that everyone has done what they did this year for him, and, you know, he's excited to be our coach moving forward, and I'm excited for him too. And he was just saying for next year, you know, hopefully we make it to the national championship, and we need everybody on board that we possibly can get. So I know with the guys that are able to leave early, he has some recruiting to do, and I'm sure he'll do his best job at that.
Well, and on the other hand, you know, a guy like Leonard's already gone. He's a guy that you came in with.
Right.
There's, of course, the potential for all that money. Mal, that's tough to turn down.
For who?
For you.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you know, I'm fortunate enough to be in this situation, and I'm very thankful for it, but at the same time, you know, I got to thank LSU and helping me get to this step. And I know if I came back another season, you know, I still could help myself. So I got a lot to think about. You know.
How about, you know, the defense and what they did today? They shut down the Heisman Trophy winner.
Right. That was a tremendous job by the defense, you know. Very impressive. And,
are you kidding me? No, please. Please don't do that.
Start taking over the question.
Please don't do that. You can come in and ask a question whenever you want.
It was impressive, and, you know, I'm glad the defense did what they did. And, you know, I wasn't expecting them to play that well, but for them to shut down the best player in college football, you know, it was a tremendous job and limited them scoring, and I think they just kicked field goals. So, tremendous job to them.
All right, we continue with Tigers Roar. Before we go to break, give us a hoops update, buddy.
28-23, Missouri right now, 5-point lead over LSU. There are not many people who are in the stands tonight. I don't know how many viewers watching on the SEC network, but hey, tell your friends to call us over here at the Pelican.
28, that's a number of fans behind the goal on that one end.
By the way, you asked me about the bowl game real quick. Unbelievable defense. Arden Key tying the sack record. And look, starts LSU off. It's a legitimate first game in the right direction.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to tell you about our Saturday post-game show, the spring version of the Pelican Sports post-game show. And we're going to talk about a little bit about one more college football game that has to get played next Monday night. We'll talk about that as well. Still to come, Tom Breaux to tell you about the recruiting bash from the Tiger Gridiron Club. Mike Scarborough with a recruiting update. Ronnie Rance. Don't go anywhere. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Chrysan. We're right back after this pause. Stay with us.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Attention small business owners. Penn Funding announces the easiest and fastest business funding program, the Platinum Business Account.
We needed cash fast. Business is good, but this is an emergency. We needed some new equipment, and the banks wouldn't help us.
At Penn Funding, we like to say, yes, you're approved. With your Platinum Business Account, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more. This amazing new business account funding program is so effective, you could have the cash you need in just days.
I called, spoke with an agent who pre-qualified us, and connected me.
Call now for your Platinum Business Account. If you've been in business for at least 6 months, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more in just days.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
Need cash for your business? Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-552-8621. 800-552-8621.
We continue with Tigers Roar and remind you, we've been talking about it on radio, the spring version of the Pelican Sports post-game show this Saturday and next Saturday at 4:30. Jordy Hultberg and I will have it radio and TV just after the LSU basketball game against Mississippi State, which tips at 2:30 Saturday in the PMAC. We'll always have football. You can always talk football when you got an LSU show on. You see the Alec Box, you see Tiger Park, you see the PMAC. We're going to hit them spring sports. Gymnastics is about to embark on hopefully a championship season, ranked number 2 in the country. So spread the word about the post-game show this Saturday and next, 4:30. Jordy Hultberg and I taking your calls and your text messages. 1 hour program is going to go fast. It will repeat on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. So spread the word about the post-game show, and hopefully you can check it out. Buddy, there is one more football game to be played Monday night. Obviously, the semifinal games are in the books. Alabama gets past Washington. Clemson annihilates Ohio State. And this coming Monday night down in Tampa, Florida. Buddy, you know what the face value for the tickets is? $450.
Wow.
A ticket. Face value. That's face value. A friend of mine's got 2 tickets he's trying to sell. Face value for the game, $450 a ticket to see Alabama and Clemson, who will meet in the national championship. Buddy, your early thoughts on the game?
Obviously, there won't be as much scoring as there was last year, 45-40. I heard you talking about it blowing away the over. I'm looking at 24-17. I go back to Nick Saban when he had the mulligan against LSU. After the undefeated season, Okie State chokes. Alabama gets a mulligan, beats LSU 21-0. That ill-fated night, January 9th, 2012. Threw the ball on first down a bunch, double-digit numbers. I'm expecting, after the way Kiffin called such a conservative game, and we all know that he spurted that out in interviews with Sports Illustrated as well as the SEC Network and Paul Feinbaum. I think Sark is going to come in here, throw the ball, the short passing game early. Alabama, I like Alabama in this game by 7, but let's give Dabo and Clemson a lot of credit. They have really been the team for the last 2 years to be right there with Alabama. Now, they got to beat them to have bragging rights, but I've got Nick getting his 6th national championship, 5th at Bama. But, boy, that defense and obviously a true freshman quarterback.
All right, we got a little quick preview for you of the Alabama-Clemson matchup, again, which will take place Monday night down in Tampa. Here's a little get-you-ready set for Alabama and Clemson.
You know, there's no doubt that we'll be back. It won't be 34 years before we're going to be back. I promise you that.
Scarborough. Touchdown, Alabama. Nick Saban is going to have a chance at history.
Lofts it for the end zone. It's Fuller out there. Touchdown. The Tigers beat down the Buckeyes to book a ticket to Tampa.
Throwing for the end zone, and it is intercepted. Watson throws the end zone against it, and wham, touchdown. pressure. Intercepted. A Tide rolls. Tigers and Tide 2, the sequel coming up.
But I know we're all going to be talking about it in the coming days, and certainly next Monday, kind of a lead up to that game. I'm waffling a little bit. I don't know about that Kiffin thing and what effect it may or may not have. My early call was Bama winning by 7, which then the wise guys came out with that number. It since went to 6.5. But I'm thinking that I got to do some more studying and get a little feel for it. And I'll have a prediction, obviously, on the air
Come
later.
on, TK. By the time you're sitting next to Anthony Gallo on Friday, you'll be Bama winning by 10.
I don't know about that. He likes Clemson in the points, early call,
well,
too.
Look,
it's going to be tight. Nobody's going to blow anybody out,
I don't think there's going to be a blowout. I certainly think these are the two best teams in football for the last 2 years. Dabo, you saw him on the bite, wanting to make sure that to know everybody. There's this thing called Clemsoning, which is basically choking, and they've done that for a long time. And you had a great stat earlier in the week that you threw on me about the last time Clemson won the national championship.
2 members of that coaching staff, Curly Holman, Nelson Stokely.
Driving a Ford, as in Danny Ford.
1981, Clemson Tigers beat Nebraska in the Orange Bowl and won the national championship. You didn't have a BCS. You didn't have a playoff system. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk to Tom Bro. Hard to believe, but it's going to be the 22nd Tiger Gridiron Club Bash. I was at the first one in the field house. Coach DiNardo and his wife, Terry, actually had a big role in getting that thing going back in the day. So now, 22 years later, we'll get Tom Bro, one of the hardworking members of the Tiger Gridiron Club, is going to tell you all about the bash, how you can get tickets, where's it going to be, etc. All of that's coming up next, right after this pause on Tigers Roar. Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Chrysan, stay with us.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-404-0966. 800-404-0966.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Juvame Medical, we strive to accomplish a more youthful you. We specialize in the most advanced techniques of testosterone replacement therapy in men, bioidentical hormone replacement in women, IV therapy, and nutritional support along with the state-of-the-art cosmetics procedures. Experience a network of trainers and health coaches offering diet and nutritional plans tailored to you. Call us today to schedule your free consultation to discuss your individual needs and goals. Look like you live younger.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
Continue with Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV with Buddy Sanjay. I'm Tommy Chrysan. We want to welcome to the program Tom Bro, one of the hard-working members of the Tiger Gridiron Club. Buddy, take it away.
Tom, once again celebrating year 22, going back to the old days like many years ago, the atrium with the Belle of Baton Rouge. Let's get right into it. And obviously 4 weeks from today, Tom, it's hard to believe, signing day, first Wednesday in February. Of course, that's February 1. Let's go through all the details once again for the Tiger Nation. Nobody does it like LSU with signing day.
I tell you what, buddy, a lot of people over the years have tried to call us and try to copy and try to put it together. And when they find out how much work it is, they just drop it, you know. But the Tigers do it well. We enjoy the day. I think the coaches over the years, Miles, of course, last 11 or so years, and Coach O will make his first appearance as the head coach of the Tigers this year. We're assuming it'll be close to 5:30 when he makes his appearance, but it should be a fired-up crowd. You know, Coach O's been known to fire up the crowd if they're not fired up, so should be good.
And that'll be at the Belle of Baton Rouge Hotel Atrium. Doors are going to open at 8:30. The program will start at 10:30. There's silent auction. There's things that are going on all day. And Tom, just as important, proceeds from this help the Tiger football program. And you guys have done this and done it well for now 22 years. So tell people how they can get tickets. Tables are available. You can get up front by the stage. Tell people how they can get involved, and will tickets be for sale at the door that day?
Yeah, in other words, general admission can get general admission tickets. I think they can go to Ticketmaster, go online, call Ticketmaster if you want to go straight down to the River Center. I think the Ticketmaster booth is. You can buy the tickets there. You can buy the day of the bash. Tickets are going for $15. I'm not quite sure. We'll have a meeting Tuesday night. Maybe we'll wrap all that up, but I'm not sure if we're going to charge a little bit more the day of, but for sure you can get your general admission tickets $15 right now. The VIP tables, we've got 50 VIP tables. The first 6 on the front row is $3,000. The second row will be $2,000. We got 12 that's going for $1,500 on the third and fourth row, and from the 5th through the 10th row, we got 26 $1,000 tables.
There you go.
And they all seat 10, so it'll be at least 500 people. You know, if we sell out of the 50 tables, it'll be 500 people at the tables.
And you can give Tom a call at 225-806-2884. If you can't write all that down, you can contact us here at Pelican Sports TV or CBS Sports Radio, and we'll point you in the right direction.
Tom, just wanted to make sure that people do know that a lot of times, TK, you don't have, like me, you don't have 9 other friends to sit at the table. So you do work singles in there. And, of course, Tom, let's make sure that everybody knows when you get to the table, you get some of the perks with the food and the drinks.
Yes, it's funny you asked, Bud, because one guy said, can you work me in an extra chair? So I'll have 11 at the table. I said, no problem. You know, he wanted a $1,000 table. I said, I'll charge you $1,100 for those 11 seats. So we'll work it out. We'll work out a deal. If we don't sell all the tables the last week, all along, as people call me, if they just want seats at the table, I'll keep a list, and I'll start contacting them the last week and just sell them some seats at a table for the going rate. The perks at the table, of course, the VIP tables, I'm pretty sure the $3,000 tables, the $2,000 tables, $1,500 tables, I think it's 24 of them total. They're going to get VIP food served to them at the tables. The $1,000 tables, the 5th through the 10th row, will have the buffet. They can go straight to the buffet and serve their buffet meal and just take it back to their tables. The general admission, of course, paying $15, they'll go to the concession stand. They can buy jambalaya. I'm pretty sure they're going to go for $5 on the jambalaya. They can buy a glass of beer, buy mixed drinks, buy whatever they want. Hot dogs, French fries, I'm sure, hamburgers, etc. So we should have a good time. We always do. Over the years, people have said, with the media, all the media we have, the social media we have now, by 10:30, man, it's all wrapped up. We got the signing class, they all in. Why you don't want to go to the signing party for the Bayou Bash? It's a Bayou Bash. It's tailgating. Tigers know how to tailgate. It's an all-day affair. Bring your friends over there. You get the camaraderie that you can create. You get a chance to talk to Buddy Solgi and Tommy Kreisman.
Yeah, meet TK, the king.
Hey, Tom, I'll echo what you say, because I've been at about 17 or 18 of the 22, and most times doing a radio show there. But it's a day for Tiger fans to be together, talk football, reflect back on last year, talk about the class, talk about the upcoming season. You're going to see people you're going to meet new friends. It's a great day to be a football Tiger fan at that event. So, you might know that Lowell Narcisse is already at spring practice or something, but there's a lot more to it than that.
Exactly, and the exciting thing is the Tigers, the great performance they just put on at the Citrus Bowl against the Heisman Trophy candidates. Coach Aranda, great defensive mind, brand new offensive coordinator candidate coming in, and we've heard everything that he plans to do. I think the Tigers are really just gonna work right off of that Citrus Bowl victory and just hit the ground running, man. This Tommy Moffitt's going to be waiting for them in the weight room, and they're going to go out to spring practice sometime in March and April, and they're going to start building their team for next year, and that's the time to build it. And man, I'm excited for next year. This team is good. Coach O, we know what he can do. We saw him in action. He had his audition. He won the job. He came prepared when he met with our athletic director, and he had a book that was prepared for him, and he had everything in that book. He didn't have nothing missing. Cross the T's, dot the I's. So the guys.
We're going to get a look at the binder at the Bash. How about that?
How about
exactly.
that? Huh?
We get to see that binder, man.
Well, we see a lot of our callers and listeners, TK. We see sponsors, we see coaches, we see former players, and it's a lot of fun, especially after the tough year that we all had with the flood and all the other things going on. It's a great opportunity. Rub elbows with your friends, talk LSU football. This is a new gig we've got going here now with Coach Miles and all the things that happened this year. I promise you, I can tell you that Ed Ogeron will fire people up, and at the end he's going to say go Tigers like he does always at the end. But one thing, TK, we always know, there's always drama on signing day. somebody doesn't sign, somebody flips or whatever. And like TB said, look, it's usually in the barn by 10:30 or 11 o'clock. But there are always a lot of stories, and you and I like it because we get to interact with our audience that we often don't see. Sometimes we see them once or twice a year. Great opportunity to come out there. It'll be a lot of fun, and it is always worth whatever it costs to get in, because you're going to eat, you're going to drink, you're going to talk LSU football. And let's be honest, guys, the fact that LSU is always 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 in the recruiting ratings time doesn't hurt the fact that this function continues to go on.
Exactly. And I'm glad you brought that up. It spurred a thought. And just now, I heard an interview from Marcus Randall this morning. Man, Marcus is big-time LSU. If anybody thinks that Marcus Randall is trying to steer Chris Allen to Alabama, they're wrong about that, because he's LSU through and through. He's actually hoping that Chris Allen don't flip. He said Chris Allen is real high on Coach O. He said Coach Aranda is trying to recruit him and get him to flip. So don't be surprised if this kid from Baton Rouge right here is able to flip on signing day February 1st.
Tom, we appreciate you joining us. We're going to continue to give out the information on TV and radio. And like I said, people can contact us here. Call Don running the radio board, and we'll get the contact information to them where they can get those VIP tables and get all the information that they need. Tom, as always, fun to visit with you.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Tom.
All your help, and looking forward to February 1st.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom Broda. Lots of members of that club do a whole lot of work. Tom's one of the guys that's at the front of the list, and so Chuck Goodwin and Chico, and and
Vince,
Buddy,
all of them, yeah.
Vince, so many of the guys that have become friends over the
Buddy
years.
Bro, Tom's brother. There's just so many of them.
He sent me all the info today.
Well, it's like everything else. With social media, the bash has changed a little bit, and it will be interesting to see if they can recover some of that passion and pizzazz that they had. I remember distinctly one of the times at the Bella Baton Rouge Atrium, Sam Montgomery went on TV at 10:30, and proclaimed to come to LSU, and that place went bonkers, and it really affected the tempo in the building the whole day. On the flip side, Joe McKnight, who unfortunately passed with the road rage incident not long ago in New Orleans, went to USC, and it laid an egg in the room. So the way LSU is trying to finish flipping guys, and once again, if they're at 4, 5, 6, TK, look, it's what you have to do to compete with the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Floridas, and everybody else. The SEC will have 5 of the top 10 recruiting classes. LSU's got to be top 5, top 6, top 7 to compete, and they will be there.
You got to get players and you got to develop them. We're going to take a break, and talking about players, talking about recruiting, when we return, Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com, with the very latest recruiting information for you right here on Tigers Roar. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Krysan, Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, internet, PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
It's a male thing.
Since 1986, the family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Frugier, with state-of-the-art building and technology and our highly trained staff, have been dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages. The experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Frugier to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 225-292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation, because we know how to make you smile.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
name's Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Before we get to Mike Scarborough, we'll remind you about WUBR. It's on the TuneIn app, the computers. You can get it on the smartphone, the tablets, the whole bit. 9, 10 a.m. on the radio dial, home of the Jim Rome Show. The local programming with Jordy Hultberg, Buddy, myself, Dave Scandaliato, Carlos Brown on Saturdays, Louisiana Music Hall of Fame radio through the nights. WUBR. Get it on the TuneIn app. Our Saturday post-game show will be simulcast radio and TV. You'll be able to hear it if you're running around. You got that computer or the smartphone. Spread the word about WUBR and get that TuneIn app if you don't have it already. Or you can go online, tunein.com. You just search WUBR. You see it in the big red letters there. All right, we're now joined by Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. Good evening, Mike. How are you?
Hey, good evening. Glad to be with y'all.
All right, Mike, recruiting, that's what it's all about for the next month. Give us the very latest of what's happening on the LSU front.
Well, you've got 19 commitments. The class is ranked number 7 in the country, and but there's some really heavy hitters left that are uncommitted that I think are going to be a part of the class. Marvin Wilson, of course, the number 2 overall prospect in the country, defensive tackle from Houston Episcopal. I think LSU leads for him over Florida State. Caleb Von Chasoff, the defensive end from Houston North Shore. I think that would be after if you watch the Under Armour game on Sunday, you saw what a talent he is. So if you can get those 2 defensive linemen, that'll be huge. And of course, you wait to see what happens with Travis Etienne, the Jennings running back. Then a couple of wide receivers, whether it's Devonta Smith from Amite or Race McMath from Carr. We'll see on the tight end Paulson from Louisville, Kentucky. And they got to find a couple of linebackers. Certainly losing Monty Rice, who flipped to Georgia Monday morning, midterm enrollee. Whether it be Jacob Phillips, the Oklahoma commitment. Nick Smith, who will visit late in the month for the NC State commitment, the linebacker they offered. Ellis Brooks from Richmond, Virginia, Willie Gay from Starkville, who's been making a lot of headlines this week. And then you've also got Todd Harris from Plaquemine, and then we've just posted a story on Cheyenne LaBruza from Albany that's committed to Tennessee, who will visit LSU's next weekend. So still a lot left on the board.
Mike, let's talk about Marvin Wilson coming in on the first weekend, January the 13th. Him and Shelvin would certainly be a very big physical duo on the D-line. Let's talk about those 2 guys. I know we talked about Shelvin on the radio a bunch. Marvin Wilson. What did you think of Wilson and how he looked at the All-Star game?
No, he's exceptional. For several years in a row, he's gone to the Rivals 5-Star Challenge and been, arguably the top lineman at those camps, defensive lineman, and I think Shelvin can be just as dominant if he can drop some weight. I know a lot of people in the Crowley area who saw him play or kind of were scratching their heads through the off season. He was a second-team All-District guy. And, of course, saying, well, where's a guy being second-team All-District who was a 5-star on every recruiting network? But you see why. He's just hard to deal with. He eats up so much space. So, I mean, if you have him and Marvin Wilson on the field, and a Shelvin who's trimmed up some. I think LSU's defensive line for the coming years it just could be off the charts with that group. You wouldn't trade with anybody, particularly you had the defensive end Chase on LSU Texas battle for him. The key, the defensive backs, of course, are always going to be there. The issue continues to be defensively for LSU is recruiting linebackers.
Yeah, Mike, 6 early enrollees. Of course, a couple of those DBs, Jacoby Stevens and Grant Delpit. Stevens is so versatile, played wide receiver and was really balling at that spot. Didn't play in the game. Grant Delpit, another hard-hitting safety. He'll have to put on some weight. But talk a little bit about DBU and the rich getting richer. It's going to be interesting to see the young pups in the secondary, because we all know Jamal Adams has got a press conference on Friday, and TK, 99% chance he goes pro. He's a first-round pick, and he can't take a chance of coming back and getting hurt and
I think the
losing that money.
surprise there would be if he didn't go to the NFL. Mike, I got a question for you about the linebacker thing you just mentioned. Ed Orgeron's record as a recruiter speaks for itself. Dave Aranda's now got a one-year footprint, one-season footprint in the sand at LSU of being very successful with what he's doing defensively. These kids can read a depth chart just like us. They know that there's chances to get on the field for LSU at linebacker maybe quicker than some other positions. So with all that being said, Mike, what's the crawl here? Why can't they seem to be having linebackers lining up at the door?
It absolutely makes no sense to me. I've asked the question, and I'll ask you guys. With what Dave Aranda had to work with this season, and we can debate each spot on the defense. Just from what I've seen from him this year, I mean, who would be a more impressive coordinator on either side of the ball in the last 30 years than Dave Aranda?
I agree. And again, I'm like you. It's a mystery as to why linebackers ain't lined up in the parking lot saying, "Can I come in and visit?" I mean,
and in the 3-4, Orton Key is a linebacker.
Well,
now he had his hand in the ground a lot, rushing. But as you mentioned with Chasson, look, TK, we talked about this same thing on the radio today. It boggles the mind, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the frying pan and say they're going to get a couple linebackers at the end. But Mike, they really need a bumper inside at the middle spot, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, and look, Devin White's going to be out of this world. I mean, you're looking at a future All-SEC guy for the next several years, I believe, and I don't think they're going to miss a beat going from Beckwith to him. But you run the deal, well, what happens if he gets a concussion and he has to miss some time, or if he has a separated shoulder or a broken collarbone? Then what? Who backs him up? And then who backs him up? How effective are they going to be? I mean, you got to have some bodies. You can't have multiple years in a row where you go into your recruiting year saying, we like a group of 3, we like a group of 4, but you end up with 0, 1, 1, 2, and it's not just about not having the numbers. The numbers not only give you the depth and quality, but it also gives you a margin for error, in recruiting, evaluation, having the bodies there. Not every guy's going to, Michael Divinity, I thought he was going to, if you asked me this time last year, name me a handful of freshmen who were going to make an immediate impact, I had Divinity in the first 2 or 3 names.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Right. Mike, let's talk about the 2 quarterbacks. Your assessment of Lowell Narcisse and Miles Brennan.
The more the merrier. You've got, 6 quarterbacks that are going to be competing. Of course, Brennan's not there in the spring. Narcisse is. But, I mean, look, Brandon Harris gets a new lease on life. Who's to say that we're not talking, come August or going into the month of September and talking about, what a different quarterback Brandon Harris is under Matt Canada, and how that system fits him, and he's a different guy, and then LSU reaps the benefits. So, then we'll see what Lindsey Scott can do. Etling, of course, is the guy, but I mean, they all get a fresh start, and but I think Narcisse and Brennan will be two guys that get redshirted.
Mike, let's talk about something that's been an albatross for LSU the last 3-4 years. Coach Orgeron addressed it after the Alabama game. Getting those 4 and 5 stars, those highly ranked big guys, can bend the knee, can play with low pad level, and block the rusher from the edge. Austin Deculus, Sadiq Charles, Edwin Ingram, and the kid from West Virginia. Is this enough, or you wish that would they like to add another one?
All guards.
All of them are guards?
Yep.
Well, that doesn't help on the tackle problem, does it?
No.
Any potential late visitation from a guy that could play tackle?
I don't see it, and to me, you're watching film and pinpointing junior college left tackles for next year.
Okay. And wrapping up, Mike, got another All-Star game this weekend. Talk about some of the kids. Let's get the scoop on this kid from Starkville. Is he just playing games right now, or is he really seriously, like TK said, looking at the depth chart and figuring, man, I can go over there and play a lot, even though LSU does have some guys in the background. Corey Thompson's going to be back. Rashawn Thornton was redshirted, and you mentioned Divinity and some of the other guys, but it's still a need area. Does Willie Gay make the visit to LSU?
Well, I mean, look, he goes to the Mississippi State for his official visit next weekend, and if he comes out there without being a commitment and does indeed make his official visit to LSU, then you're cooking in grease. Look, you're looking at Phillips, the Oklahoma commitment, Nick Smith later in the month visit, the NC State commitment. Ellis Brooks, the kid from Virginia that they just offered, Willie Gay, and then still recruiting the hell out of Chris Allen all the way till the end. Somewhere in there, they're going to get a couple of guys.
All right, Mike, it's always a great time to go to TigerBait.com, especially now with so much going on. Tell us the very latest about TigerBait.com and how can people get subscriptions.
Yeah, really go to TigerBait.com. If you're an LSU fan, I think you'll really enjoy the website. Our Tiger Den premium message board. We got a lot of great discussion. We do our all-day chats on Wednesday. Brian Lazar and I answer questions day and night. And of course, this is the time of year where a lot of people want to discuss recruiting, and we don't let up. So Saturday, Sundays, you name it, we're on the board mingling with Tiger Bait subscribers.
Good-looking guy on the TV there.
Oh, yeah, Mike's guy, he's kind of dapper there.
Yeah, he's a dapper guy. I mean, we heard the dress code when we do the show, but Mike certainly brings it up. Mike, as always, appreciate your time tonight, and we will see. We did have one text message while we were doing the segment. John wanting to know where you think LSU falls when the smoke clears. Is this going to be top 5, right outside? We talk about it. Got to be top 10 or better just to...
Yeah, it's a middle of the top 10 class, but I think I haven't done the math on it, and it's easy to do. Rival sets it up for you. You can just plug it in. But when you start plugging in Marvin Wilson and Caleb Chason, and I think Chason's ranking is going to go even higher after what he did. There's still a ranking period left after the All-Star games, U.S. Army this weekend. So I think LSU can get inside the top 5.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate it. Mike, TigerBait.com. Thank you so much.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay, guy.
All right, we're going to take a break. We come back, we're going to take a run through the LSU athletic department. We got some basketball for you. We'll update you on the action in Columbia, Missouri. Talk women's basketball, talk gymnastics, and a baseball note that came out late today. All of that's up next after this pause. Buddy Sanji, Tommy Krysan with you on Tigers Roar. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
Tigers Roar, Buddy Sanjay, Tommy Chrysan with you. Remind you, the original airing of this program is on Wednesday nights each week, 8 to 10. If you're catching this Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you got a rebroadcast going. So one or two things we say may not be pertinent the rest of the week, but I think you understand it. Before we run into the LSU athletic department and talk about some hoops, the #1 team in the land has been beat tonight. Villanova loses to Butler 66-58. The Villanova reigning college champions get knocked off for the first time out of the #1 seat by the Butler Bulldogs. Buddy, let's talk Tiger basketball. Johnny Jones's crew. What's the very latest?
Back and forth. LSU with a 2-point lead last time we saw it before the commercial break, playing better. But TK, the obvious thing that this team does not have is any semblance of defense. Now, the J-Man would love playing on this team because they jacket and don't play any defense. And, you know, for those that don't remember, Jordy was a mighty good lefty from the outside.
Never saw a shot he didn't like.
He did not ever see a shot he didn't like. And I'm excited that you guys are going to tune in. I'll tune in after the game. They play Mississippi State. But let's cut to the chase here. Johnny's got to get a little momentum going for the crowd to show up. We were just looking and trying to surmise what the crowd is. It looks like about 2,000 people, and that might be generous watching LSU, Missouri. I know a lot of the home games, TK, have struggled to get 4,000 in there. There were about 5 for Vandy. We'll see if JJ can get on a roll because, well, let's not mince any words. He has got to win this year because, like Brian Lazar said on many occasions, you got 2 years left, and in football, you get to that point where you're recruiting kids. You got to tell them, hey, I'm here. My contract tells me I'm here 4 or 5 years in football. Well, basketball, Oliva will either have to give him an extension or pull the plug, and you and I have talked about it very seldom. I don't know if it's ever happened, LSU firing a football coach and a basketball coach the same year. that may come into play if LSU goes in the tank in the SEC.
We'll get a look at the men's basketball. Johnny Jones, again, they're in Missouri tonight. 8-4 overall, 0-1 in league play. They dropped that SEC opener to Vanderbilt, 96-89. Three-point record, but they did not win the game. They're at Missouri tonight. Again, we're here on a Wednesday. Mississippi State and the PMAC on Saturday. Need a big crowd out there for that one. Then they hit the road to take on the Aggies of Texas A&M. As you see, Johnny Jones in his 5th season at LSU. Women's basketball, Coach Nikki Fargas, they had a good pre-conference schedule, and then they got walloped by a very good Lady Bulldog Mississippi State team who's undefeated, or they were at the time of this game. So Coach Fargas in her 6th year at LSU, 0-1 in league play, 11-3 overall. They've got Florida this week at home, then at Arkansas, at Missouri. They got walloped by Mississippi State there, as you see, the number 5 ranked team in the country. But we got to see if they can get going in SEC play.
Well, she's got a much deeper bench, TK. You know, Nikki has been fighting attrition and injuries and all kinds of crazy stuff. She's finally got some bigs that can play a little bit. She's always had plenty of guard play, but I think she's got a better club. That was embarrassing after the way they played so well. Something like 10-2 out of the gate and then to lay an egg at Mississippi State. But as you know, the SEC Women's Conference is always very good. I think they will be better, probably middle of the pack in the SEC, but, once again, struggling to get fans in the stands to watch her product.
Won't be a struggle to get fans in the stands for Dee Bro's gymnastics team. Selling out like crazy last year. Lady Tigers ranked number 2. They'll host number 9 ranked Georgia in the upcoming meet Friday night at the PMAC. 39th year at LSU for Coach Dee Bro. Gymnastics, they've been drawing crowds that years ago nobody would have envisioned, including Coach Bro. But that's great to see that. It's a great family event. All the kids are out there. All the young gymnasts are out there. And this Lady Tiger Championship team, let's hope they embark on what ends up being a championship season. I'd like nothing more than to see Dee Bro get a national championship.
Ran into Dee getting my oil change the other day, and I tell you what, really incredible to finish second in the country last year. But what is more incredible is what they are drawing. Now, I screamed into the TV sellout. I really believe they will sell that thing out Friday night. Now, we know there's going to be some very cold weather coming in Friday and Saturday. It's incredible family entertainment. All the little girls love it. They do a great job of interacting with the fans. It's fast-paced. Ashley Nat and a bunch of ladies, all very classy. Great in the classroom, but even better on the floor apparatus. TK, I've followed gymnastics and Dee's program for a long, long time. And, for many, many years, they would struggle on one event that would always hurt them, the balance beam. And they've gotten a lot better on the beam in the last couple of years. When I saw Coach Bro, I said, well, all you got to do is go one more spot up. And she said, you wouldn't believe the number of people who have told me that. But it really is exciting, great entertainment. And this is no lie when I tell you they will put more people in one gymnastics meet Friday night than 2 or 3 basketball actual crowds. We hope that JJ's attendance gets better, but this is family entertainment, and I guarantee you there will be a great crowd. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now, 197-8, and they nipped Georgia by half a point.
Wow, the Bud Man with the gymnastic expertise. One other note in the LSU Athletic Department that came in late today. We didn't have time to throw the graphic together. Paul Maneri gets Alan Dunn, who appears regularly on You with the Radio, is now the associate head coach. Nate Fury, a former Tiger pitcher who also played at Delgado in New Orleans for Joe Sherman. Now the director of baseball operations. We already know Nolan Kane and Micah Gibbs got bumped up when Andy Cannizzaro went to Mississippi State. So we've got that posted on the Pelican Broadcasting Facebook page, but a little baseball note too. Tigers begin baseball practice Friday, January 27th, and then February 17th the season will open.
Mr. LSU baseball, Chris Giat, saw him a couple times at Serops Express the last month or so, and he said, Bud, you are going to like this bullpen. They have 5 or 6. TK, you were a pitcher, and you growing up, in your day and time, somebody threw 90, that was really bringing the heat.
We had like 2 guys in my 4 years that threw 90 plus.
When Ben McDonald was winning all the awards and the first pick in the league, he was throwing 95, and that was smoke. Well, as we saw with Chapman finishing out the World Series, throwing 101 and 102, but LSU's legitimately going to have some guys throwing 94, 95, 96 this year. Obviously, Jared Poche back for his senior year, a real coup for Alan Dunn and Coach Maneri. They've got more depth. They've got Josh Smith from Catholic High who's going to play. They've got a bunch of other new kids vying for action. The Twins are back. Papierski's back catching. It's going to be interesting. And then, of course, the class act, Lang, is something special. But it couldn't happen to me, a more professional coach than Alan Dunn getting. I hope that there's a nice raise with that because, he has been a big part of the success with Paul Maneri in the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, I saw Chris Guillard down at the Ascension Tiger Cages in Prairieville. My good friend Cammy runs that place, owns it. So saw Chris and had a nice visit with him as well. So, again, Tiger baseball team will start on January 27th. And we mentioned the spring version of the Pelican Sports postgame show. When baseball and softball starts up, that'll be folded into that Saturday show as well. Again, the next 2 Saturdays at 4:30, right after LSU hoops. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it'll be time for Ronnie Rance, Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, which is seen here on the Pelican, and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation. We'll get Jumbo's thoughts on the football season that just went by after this pause on Tigers Roar. Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Plus Benefits has an important message for all uninsured Americans. It's official. Health reform has now become law. Now, uninsured Americans can finally get the health coverage they need with significant prescription benefits. Have you been uninsured, denied coverage, or struggling to pay your health insurance? Well, not anymore. Now there's affordable options with real benefits for people just like you. We know health insurance cost and being denied coverage due to pre-existing conditions has created serious hardships for many Americans. But that's a thing of the past. If you're uninsured, struggling to afford, or have been denied health insurance, pick up the phone and call now. The call is free, and every caller will receive a free discount prescription savings card. Call Plus Benefits Health Insurance Helpline today and get the health insurance and prescription coverage you need. One call can change your life for the better.
Please call 800-351-1511. That is 800-351-1511.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal and she makes your dreams come true.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Buddy Saji, Tommy Price, and Ronnie Rance in a minute. First, we tell you about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Now, I told you earlier about the prime rib. Well, we did a little math while we were at one of the breaks. The Pelican crew put down about 80 pounds of prime rib at Christmas time. Not one person, that was a group of people, okay? But there was none left. I mean, a couple of sandwiches for a few days, but prime rib out of this world at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. You can check out their website, tremontis.com. You've got their phone number, 751-7665. Crawfish are available at Tremonti's. Mike wanted me to tell everybody that. You got to call and get your order in. They're not plentiful yet. Heck, we're in January. Tremontis.com, 751-7665. On Jefferson Highway, just down from Parkview Baptist Church and School. They got the meat case, they got the prepared meals, the the shrimp fettuccine, the lasagna, just pop it in the oven, get it to go, get it ready to eat. And again, they got crawfish now, and they can do it for you at Tremonti's. Daily lunch specials. They got wines, high spirits, lots of stuff in there at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. The website has all the info, tremontis.com, or stop by on Jefferson Highway, just down from Parkview Baptist School and Church. That's Tremonti's. Go see Mike. Tell him you heard TK talking about it on the old TV and the radio. Right now, we're joined by Ronnie Rance, Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV. Ronnie, good evening. How are you? And Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you two guys.
Ronnie, the football season's in the books. You had a first-hand look at it all. Your thoughts as you've had a few days now to digest the 2016 season, capped off with that win in the Citrus Bowl.
What might have been, that's really the theme of this LSU football team. You saw the statistics today where LSU had the 7th toughest schedule in the country. 8 of the teams were bowl eligible or something like that. And this was a team that showed its had moments, of brilliance, looking like a top 10 ranked team in the country, which they were before the season. With a 3.5 quarters against Alabama and the dominant win over Ole Miss and shutting down Louisville and A&M offensively what they did, and they had their moments, but they just lacked the consistency, and that's what they're going to have to work on. I think that as long as you've got Dave Aranda as the defense coordinator, I don't think they can count on that for more than another year or two. But as long as they've got him and quality athletes they always have, it seems like you're going to be in it. And the job of the LSU offense is just to do enough to win. And I think we just saw that with the offensive change that you made when you got rid of Les Miles. That LSU's got plenty enough skilled players, got enough talent that even without a blue chip quarterback or anything like that, they can figure out a way to win probably 90% of their football games. And that's where this program should be, and that's where I think they will be over the next couple of years.
Jumbo, your take on Matt Canada, the new offensive coordinator. I know a lot of LSU fans watched Pittsburgh in the bowl game and kind of freaked a little bit with a typical overreaction. He lost, he did this, he did that, but I think all of us will echo the same sentiment that it was a time for a change on the offensive philosophy, and I think it's going to be a real advantage for LSU to have a guy coming in, and nobody's got a good read on him because he's been so many spots, TK, in about five or 6 years. But what do you think he brings to the table from an offensive philosophy standpoint? And I think TK and I echo those sentiments with Dave Aranda. That's the beautiful thing when you're that good on defense. You're in every football game. You won't get blown out with Dave Aranda coaching the defense because he's just not going to give up much, and they're going to be in the top 5 across the board defensively in most of the categories.
Well, I thought, watching Pittsburgh in the bowl game, I thought it was obvious that Canada was showing off a little bit. I mean, he's definitely going to be unpredictable from the standpoint of a lot of different formations, a lot of trick plays, a lot of misdirection, and I'm okay with that. I don't think LSU needs to ever be too cute. Let's face it. They're going to be better than most of the teams that they play. So you don't want to be too cute, but at least be unpredictable. And I like what we saw at Ensminger a little bit, and I think you'll see more taken it to another level with Canada where, you can still run that 34 power, but run it out of 8 different formations. And it was obvious in the first half of the bowl game that Canada was like emptying the playbook because he called every single thing he could. Unfortunately, they lost their star running back to injury in that game and lost the game. But and I think the other thing too is that what I mentioned earlier, I don't think Dave Aranda is going to be here long term. I think he's too good. I think his long-term goal is to get to the NFL, and that's a real possibility in a couple of years. Whereas Canada, what are you going to lose him to? You're going to lose him to maybe becoming a head coach somewhere if he does such a good job at LSU to where he becomes a head coach candidate. And I think that's still at least 2-3 years away, even if he does a fantastic job. So I think you're going to have a more long-term offensive coordinator where Dave Aranda, who knows how long he'll be here.
Ronnie, before you get out of here, I want you to tell everybody about Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, and then I have a question for you before you go. But give us the rundown on how people can keep up with you, and also the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame.
Well, Sports Shorts TV right here in Pelican, Mondays at 9, Tuesdays at 8. Got some exciting things coming down in 2017, including a brand new set that we're having developed. And then Sports Shorts Radio, Mondays at 6 to 8 on ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge. We'll actually be on the air tomorrow night due to the scheduling change with the championship game this past week and all that. We're gonna be on ESPN Radio tomorrow night, 6 to 8. So check us out. And the Hall of Fame, I'm gonna be in your territory, Tommy, on the 21st of January. C.A. Core, one of the greatest basketball player in the history of Southeastern, who passed away a few years ago. He played during the late 60s. He's going into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame this year, and they're honoring his family and teammates and all at halftime of their basketball game on the 21st over in Hammond. So I'll be there for that presentation.
He's a legend in Hammond, C.A. Core, one of the best. Ronnie, here's my question for you. You ready?
Yep.
Is 2017 going to be a better year for Joel Davis and his predictions on Sports Shorts TV?
It can't be worse. It can't be worse, that's for sure.
I had to throw that in there. We always like to have fun.
Document every single swing and miss, trust me.
Just tell him watch out for them toothpicks. Thank you, Ronnie.
All right, guys.
Take care, Ronnie.
Appreciate it. We'll take a break, come back. A little quick talk about the Sugar Bowl and hear from Buddy's pal Bob Stoops right after this pause on Tigers Roar, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
Hello. Hola. Ni hao.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name's Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
Since 1986, the family dental practice of Dr. Farrell Frugier, with state-of-the-art building and technology, and our highly trained staff have been dedicated to providing care and treatment to our patients of all ages. The experience and advanced training in cosmetic and restorative dentistry, TMJ, and treatment of snoring and sleep apnea allows Dr. Frugier to assist you in achieving the best in dental health. Call us today at 225-292-9700 to schedule your initial evaluation because we know how to make you smile.
About the spring version of the Pelican Sports post-game show the next 2 Saturdays at 4:30, which follow 2:30 LSU hoops games. We'll talk LSU basketball. We'll talk recruiting and football news as it comes up. We'll also talk baseball and softball when it still gets going. Jordy Hultberg and I will have it for you. Radio and TV, 1 hour, hard-hitting program. Phone calls, text messages. It'll repeat Sunday morning at 9 on TV. So spread the word about the springtime version. It's all over Facebook and Twitter. This Saturday and the following Saturday at 4:30, we'll get it going right after LSU Mississippi State. Buddy, give us an update on LSU Missouri. Good news for the Tigers of LSU at this time.
A lot of runs tonight. LSU opened the game 12-6 and then went cold. Missouri had a 10-point lead. Missouri leads by 5 at halftime, 40-35. LSU's outscored them by 20 in the second half, 80-65. Tigers with 4 minutes and some change left. Just did have a 35-second clock violation, but hey, Kieran Haywood's playing a lot tonight. Patterson's doing a lot of point guard, and Blakeney's scoring a lot. But better defense because TK, as we know, the last 2 games, they were playing the Swiss cheese defense.
This past earlier this week, the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Oklahoma took care of Auburn, the lowest attended Sugar Bowl since 1939, buddy. Man, the upper decks of the Dome were just dang near completely empty at the Sugar Bowl, a staple on the calendar in the Crescent City. Auburn, Oklahoma. Oklahoma takes care of business. We got some comments from Buddy's pal Bob Stoops, who thanked the city of New Orleans and the Sugar Bowl people. Here's Bob Stoops, the head coach of the Sooners.
I'd first start off by my compliments to the entire Sugar Bowl committee, the people in New Orleans, at the hotel, the practice site here at the Superdome, on and on and on. It's just been an incredible week, and everybody's just been fantastic. Compliments to Auburn, Coach Malzahn and his team having an excellent year. Very good football team, and played a good game tonight. I really can't say enough how proud I am of my players, the way they've handled themselves. Not only this entire week, but the whole month leading up to the game. They've really been attentive in meetings. They practiced hard and took care of themselves, around New Orleans here this entire week. Not one guy was late to a meeting or anything else. So they really invested in it, and it showed tonight. Really proud of the way they played, in all parts of the game. I thought we were tough, physical, both sides of the ball, executed well. Compliments to the assistant coaches who put together an excellent game plan, and to these guys up here and the job they did. Would recognize Samaje. He doesn't want me to do it, but to be the all-time leading rusher at a place like Oklahoma, when you look at the lineage of running backs that we've had through the decades, to be the all-time leading rusher is really something special. So the entire team took a lot of pride in that.
Buddy's pal Bob throwing out some bouquets there to the city of New Orleans and the Sugar Bowl committee, much deserved.
That's the nicest and most humble I've seen Bob Stoops ever talk about it. You know, when LSU beat him in 2003, he accused Saban and LSU of stealing the laptop and all the other stuff. A lot of controversy in the broadcast with Brent Musburger talking about the running back Mixon, who, of course, the videos and video was shown him punching the girl, and Bob. I guess they kicked him off for a year and brought him back, and a lot of controversy about that and how that played out with some of the punching of the crowd after touchdowns. But Oklahoma's real good. Then you pick up the Advocate today, and Stoops is talking about the SEC and this and the SEC and that. I'm going to tell you right now, Bob Stoops, you want to come get some SEC, come and get some SEC and quit yapping. Now, who's he playing in the Big 12, huh? Texas? Colorado? Okie State? No, let him come play A&M and Georgia and Florida and Alabama and LSU and all that. Not one of my favorite people. Did, ask him a couple questions at the press conference at 2:03, and at that time we always said probably should have the first name of Richard.
We'll be back. We'll take our last break, come back and put a wrap on this week's edition of Tigers Roar, recapping LSU football, the Citrus Bowl win, talking about all the recruiting stuff, letting you know about the Saturday post-game show at 4:30, radio and TV. We'll be back and put a wrap on it right after this pause. Pelican Sports TV, stay with us.
Spicy.
Attention small business owners. Penn Funding announces the easiest and fastest business funding program, the Platinum Business Account.
We needed cash fast. Business is good, but this is an emergency. We needed some new equipment, and the banks wouldn't help us.
At Penn Funding, we like to say, yes, you're approved. With your Platinum Business Account, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more. This amazing new business account funding program is so effective, you could have the cash you need in just days.
I called, spoke with an agent who pre-qualified us, and connected me.
Call now for your Platinum Business Account. If you've been in business for at least 6 months, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more in just days.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
Need cash for your business? Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-552-8621. 800-552-8621.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including OptiMap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
We continue with Tigers Roar, putting a wrap on it. A couple of things. Again, Happy New Year 2017. We hope it's great for everybody. Buddy, another year of post-game tonight, kind of being the combo show. Appreciate all your time and efforts and fun that we had. And most importantly, all the people that watched, they called, they text messaged the whole bit and talked to us on our radio show about the post-game show and all that good stuff. So we have a lot to be thankful for. And now we got the springtime post-game show, which I think April the 10th. You're going to be here along with Bob Stoops to do that show.
I'll be hitting the golf club, hopefully. A golf ball.
Bob Stoops plays golf, so you and Bob can go play golf and come do the spring post-game show.
All kidding aside, TK does an incredible job of keeping the radio and the TV going, and we call him the king over here for TK. He does a great job, and I think you, along with myself, we try to keep it real. J-Man in the morning, all the people that we have on, but we certainly couldn't do it. And a a special shout out to Julie. I gave her a shout out the other day, but her husband, I saw him last week, and she says, it's amazing. She loves watching you and TK. I said, does she put blindfolds on? But we hope that we will look better in 2017. I'm already feeling better about the karma of 17. There is great cautious optimism. Watching Darius Geis in a little soundbite and video right as we were coming back from break. I really think he's got a chance if he can keep his wits about him and not do anything stupid. He's going to be in the limelight. He's got a chance to get some Heisman consideration. LSU, what do you think preseason next year?
Oh, it's too early to go with that. But buddy,
12, 13, 14?
Oh, you got to ask me that later. But I know you want to thank Manda Sausage again.
Couldn't do it without the Yarborough family and Manda Fine Meats, where flavor and spice really do say it all. Once again, go to your local supermarket and deli, pick it up. Louisiana owned and operated. All the money stays right here. Great community partners. Unbelievable amount of people that they fed in the flood with Leo Verde from Sullivan's and all the other people that hooked up with them. And as always, make sure you pick Manda each and every time you go and do your shopping. Great for tailgating as well.
We got a final score. LSU has won tonight. What's the score? 88-77, 11-point win for the Tigers.
They covered the spread,
They were 1-point underdogs on the tip. So good job by Johnny Jones. Home Saturday in the PMAC. Need to get a crowd out there. 2:30 tip. We got the spring version of the post-game show at 4:30 on radio and TV. And once again, buddy, thanks for all your good stuff this year. I want to thank Tom Bro at the Gridiron Club. Contact Buddy or I or anybody at Pelican. We can get you the information how you can get a VIP table and be a part of the 22nd annual Tiger Gridiron Club Recruiting Bash on Wednesday, February 1st. Bella Baton Rouge Hotel Atrium down there. Buddy and I'll be there. We want to see you there as well. Always, like you said earlier, chance we can tell some folks hello that listen to us and all that good stuff. So
watch Alabama throw the ball on first down. It should be a great championship game. You leaning towards
I'm going to
under?
go Bama wins, doesn't cover the spread.
Okay. I like Bama 24-17. We'll see what happens if it stays in the SEC.
You going to have a contest I can win again?
You can. And once again, thank all of those people who listen to us and watch us on TV. Couldn't do it without them. Appreciate Alan, Marty, everybody involved, Greg, everybody in the truck. Been a great year, and we expect 17 to be much better.
Well, as I always say, it takes a lot of people to put all this stuff together. Actually starts on a Tuesday morning to get ready for Wednesday night. We appreciate you checking out the original air or one of the replays. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Watch a lot of our programming at your convenience. Again, on behalf of everybody at Pelican Broadcasting, Happy New Year. He's Buddy Sanji. I'm Tommy Christ, and you've been watching Tigers Roar. Talk to you again Saturday, 4:30 post-game show.
Attention small business owners. Penn Funding announces the easiest and fastest business funding program, the Platinum Business Account.
We needed cash fast. Business is good, but this is an emergency. We needed some new equipment, and the banks wouldn't help us.
At Penn Funding, we like to say yes, you're approved. With your Platinum Business Account, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more. This amazing new business account funding program is so effective, you could have the cash you need in just days.
I called, spoke with an agent who pre-qualified us, and connected me.
Call now for your Platinum Business Account. If you've been in business for at least 6 months, you could qualify for up to $50,000 or more in just days.
I called Penn Funding and had my money fast.
Need cash for your business? Call Penn Funding now.
Call 800-552-8621. 800-552-8621.